From the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel, this is a severe weather alert.
All right, it's midnight o'clock. I'm Fred Gossage along with Kelly Rawson in the Tennessee Valley Weather Center with an update on the severe weather threat for the overnight and the early morning hours. We still have our tornado watch until 3 a.m. across southern middle Tennessee. Tornado watch until 2 a.m. back in the West Tennessee and North Mississippi. No warnings yet across the area. There have been a few warnings to the north. There are some warnings back on the Mississippi River in western areas of Mississippi, but storms to the north, as we expected, weakening as they slowly drop to the south. Here's Viper Live Doppler radar. Seeing the storms gradually starting to get that southern progression, although they are still mainly training from west to east, and we may have to be concerned about some flooding issues up here soon on the I-40 corridor. However, we are starting to see that outflow move southward now. We've also been watching some scattered attempts at thunderstorms south of there, ahead of the thunderstorms. They really haven't survived too well, but as the upward lift increases across the area, those may start to fill in. Now, I'm not sure they'll go severe. To be honest with you, I think the severe weather risk is decreasing. It's not over yet, but everything is on a downward trend now as the storms seem to be gusting out, losing intensity, even though they still have the red zone radar. That's heavy rainfall. And the ground truth wind gusts to the north up here on the I-40 corridor for the past hour or so have only been into the 40 to 45 mile per hour range, and you need those winds to be 58 miles per hour or greater in order for storms to be severe. If you watch very carefully, notice this little fine green line moving southward out of the boundary. That's rain-cooled air. That's the gust front moving southward across Williamson County. That's about to be moving into Murray County, Tennessee over the next several minutes, and that is undercutting these thunderstorms. So that's decreasing the risk of them being able to be severe with damaging winds as the complex gradually sinks and builds to the south over the next few hours. There is a severe thunderstorm warning back in the West Tennessee here that's had some quarter-size hail, but that has decreased in intensity a little bit. Not really much of a wind threat here. Overall, in terms of the damaging wind and especially the tornado threat, these storms seem to be significantly on a downhill trend. Storms back into eastern Arkansas and western areas of Mississippi, we'll watch those carefully as they move into north central Mississippi, but they're already starting to get a little bit of an east-southeasterly turn. It's very possible that as that complex moves across Mississippi, it may stay just to the south of our viewing area, being a problem more for Tupelo to the Coleman or maybe Birmingham areas. But we'll watch that to see if it tries to clip our southern counties in North Alabama, south of the Tennessee River. Overall, through the early morning hours, this is a low-end severe risk, and honestly, it's diminishing with time. Very, very low chance of a spin-up tornado. If the severe weather threat was starting this low, they probably wouldn't have issued a tornado watch. The tornado watch is still in place because the storms were stronger earlier in the evening when the watch was issued. If we were just starting now, they likely would not issue a tornado watch, and they may even be iffy about a severe thunderstorm watch. The primary concern, and it's decreasing with time, gusty straight line winds to 45 to 60 miles per hour. Notice we've lowered that a little bit since the storms are weakening now. Hail, not too much of a concern, but isolated hail of $1 to $50 size can't completely be ruled out. And then localized heavy rain and street flooding possible as the storms gradually sink in here. Now the timeline, because we're starting to see some little pop-up stuff out ahead of that main line, and then the main line is breaking up and being disorganized, we're having to approach the timeline a little differently now. The overall forecast has not changed through 3 a.m. That's your severe weather threat in the blue areas here in southern middle Tennessee, from the Shoals to Athens to north of Huntsville up to Fayetteville and Pulaski through 4 a.m. That's your severe storm threat, but it's a lowering risk. It's not looking like it's going to be one clean, solid, organized line coming through. There may be something that pops up ahead of it before the line gets there, and then also the line itself may collapse before it ever gets to you in terms of a severe threat. So it's getting a little more messy with doing a clean timeline. We can just do time windows now where once you get past 3 a.m. here up in the southern middle Tennessee, If you haven't seen a warning by then, you're probably not going to for the morning. That's how we're going to interpret this for the rest of the morning. By 4 a.m. here from Pulaski and Fayetteville through the Huntsville area back to Athens, to Moulton, to Russellville and Red Bay and Florence, if you haven't seen a severe thunderstorm warning by 4 a.m., you're probably not going to, because the storms are weakening as they come in. And south of the Tennessee River, from Decatur and Moulton down through Hartselle and Falkville, if you haven't seen a severe thunderstorm warning by 5 a.m., storms are probably disorganized enough that you're likely not going to. That expectation we've had for the past couple days that the storms would be weakening as they approach us and move through, that's happening and that's playing out. Now, that doesn't mean that the severe weather threat is gone. We still need to pay attention to the tornado watch that's in place across area, because severe weather threat is not zero, but it is decreasing as we head into the early morning hours. We'll continue to watch things. We'll have another live update here at 1 a.m. We'll do our hourly scheduled updates until we have the severe weather risk completely diminished across the area. Although, to give you an idea of how much the severe weather risk is decreasing and lowering, unless something happens here soon significantly, I'm about to send Kelly Rawson home for the night and just watch it myself, because that's how much the severe weather risk is lowering across the area. I'll still continue to be here even if we do get to send Kelly home soon, but the risk is lowering, which is certainly good news. I don't want you to think everything is over and you stop paying attention, but we're getting into a better way of things with how the thunderstorms look here, to where they're not nearly as strong as they once were a few hours ago. And this was generally our forecast to begin with, that the thunderstorms would have weaken as they start moving into the area, and that is happening as we expected. Next scheduled update is at 1 a.m. If we get any severe thunderstorm warnings here over the next couple hours, we will have more frequent live updates through those warnings. And should we have a tornado warning this morning, although that threat is substantially decreasing, but should we have one, we'll be live nonstop until the danger is over. Fred Gossett here along with Kelly Rawson in the Tennessee Valley Weather Center. Stay with Tennessee Valley Weather. We'll keep you advised.
You're watching the Tennessee Valley